Good evening. My name's Alex Campbell.
I'm Mark Palmer.
You're watching Dissecting. Track. So we open with a little nice scene, sets up our character and sets up this ticking clock element. There's this famed scientist, Dr. Ira Graves, and he's having some medical issue, and they need to get to him.
Did they ever say what he's famous for? Because I know he's really smart and he's revolutionary, but I don't think they ever mentioned what he actually did.
I think he's just everything. He's just good at science.
He's just that guy.
Yeah, he's famed at science. I mean, they talk about him, talking about cybernetics and machines and stuff, but they never specifically outline what he's famous for.
Which is strange, because Star Trek normally does. They go into such detail with that shit.
Yeah, he's famous scientist, man.
Yeah.
Ira Graves is arguably the greatest human mind in the universe. For years, he's lived in near isolation on a remote planet, devoting full time to his research.
And then we cut to Data's room. We get a nice little character moment. Data has a beard.
The true highlight of this episode.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe even this season.
Maybe even the whole series.
Maybe even all of Star Trek.
And there's a Riker beard too.
It was a Riker beard. I thought when I first watched it back in the day that maybe they were like pointing out the whole Riker beard thing, but I don't think so. I think Data just had a beard.
It is a beard, Geordi. A fine, full, dignified beard. One which commands respect and projects thoughtfulness and dignity.
Yeah, I really like his explanation of it, the way he describes it.
Did he replicate it or something, you reckon?
I mean, he didn't grow it, so I guess, well, it's not organic, right? I don't know. Yeah, he made it in the replicator and then peeled off the bit of plastic and stuff on his face. But his little explanation of it, doesn't it make me look dignified and refined and intellectual? And they're just laughing, because it's funny as fuck. The way he presents it is hilarious.
Poor bastard, eh?
Well, then he doesn't have it for the rest of the episode. So it was obviously...
Literally just turned the spectrum. Sorry guys, a bit of a technical malfunction.
Oh.
That button still turns it off. Go! You're leaving this in, aren't you?
It's possible.
When I stroke the beard thusly, do I not appear more intellectual?
So that was a nice little character moment. He's trying to do the human thing. He wants to, we change our appearance. And he's trying to do that and failing miserably.
Yeah,
I thought a beard would make him look good.
Human.
Yeah, that's it. And then they set up another thing. I think this is still in the cold open, even before the credits roll. There's another ship that's hulls breached. And there's a bunch of people. Atmosphere is venting. They could die of hypoxia. So they need to get to Ira Graves when the ship is dying. So actually, this might be after the credits. So they do some fucking weird thing.
It's like the warp dropout thing, warp transportation or some shit.
A near warp transport. They never talked about it again, and I don't get it.
It's risky and all this shit.
They don't transport down while they're warping. They stop, and then they do something, and then they fly off.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are they transporting further or faster or?
I think it's just because it's a sudden stop transport go.
Yeah. Okay.
But that should still just be a normal transport.
Yeah.
They literally transport through while warping in other series.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. There's a lot of episodes. It's 800 or something.
Energize.
Wait a minute, I don't understand.
You do now.
Yeah. But they just stop the ship and then they transport down and they continue the warp. Like, it's not a big thing. But the episode makes it like it's a big thing. Never happens again, as far as I'm aware.
Well, they've spoken about it again.
Yeah, so it's like Polanski, this Vulcan doctor, Data, Troy, maybe?
Polanski.
Yeah, Dr. Polanski?
No, she's gone to the...
Yeah, that's right.
She sent the Vulcan chick as her replacement.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe it's Troy. They all go down to Dr. Ira
Troy.
Graves. Do you reckon that name is a bit on the nose?
I was
Considering he
legit,
died?
like, as soon as I heard Graves World and shit, I'm like, okay, this cunt's gonna die.
Yeah, it's a bit on the nose.
Data to Enterprise.
I read you, Commander. Go ahead.
We are inside Graves' home. All is quiet so far.
Well, like, Graves is a real last name.
It is. But yeah, the whole premise centers around his death. And yeah, he comes in, and I actually really like the actor.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
He was really charismatic and interesting. He reminded me of my father-in-law, old Sloppy.
Oh god. Actually, yes! I was thinking that too!
Like Hector
I remember!
Goy.
I was like, oh, he does, he seems like Sloppy.
I'll cut in clips here. And if he reminds you of Sloppy, comment in the comments, because you all know Sloppy.
I thought you didn't like people.
Women aren't people. They're women.
So yeah, the actor did a really good job. And yeah, he, Dr. Noonien Sun, he like taught him stuff, and like he said he's like the father of his work.
Which is funny because Sun, as far as I know later in the series, he was old as fuck. And this guy doesn't look anywhere near as old.
That is true. Maybe he was younger than him, but still his mentor who taught him things.
I mean, that is possible.
It's possible. It's not kind of how they...
It's not probable?
Not probable. It's not how they make the relationship seem in this episode.
At this point, they don't know how old Sung is or what's going on, so...
Yeah. I don't remember if he's been... No, we've only got Data Law.
At the moment, yeah.
He rocks up later on and it's Brent Spiner, like, 250-year-old man makeup. Yeah, so he's like, Data, Sun was like my student. I'm like the father of his works. You're like my grandson.
You should call me Grandpa.
Yeah, and Data does immediately, because I guess he's starved for human interactions.
Yeah, he actually liked the fact that someone wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
How fucked is that?
I mean, he's an old man on a planet by himself for some young chick dying of some disease. And then he has some little moments with Data which were nice.
It was just a great conversation, but you see the moment it turns as soon as Data mentions his off switch.
I do have an off button, if you will. Its activation robs me of my consciousness, therefore rendering me dead for all intents and purposes. It is not something I enjoy contemplating.
Oh, I can understand that.
We got some obvious like dan 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 music.
You would think Sung would put some sort of defense mechanism in Data's brain to say, don't tell them where your off switch is.
I mean, obviously you don't tell people that because it's silly, but I guess he trusted him because he's grandpa?
Yeah.
He's grandpa. Yeah, the part I don't get right is Data can't turn himself on. So basically this guy dies, or he turns Data off, and he empties his consciousness into Data. But then how does Data turn himself
must set
back
up like
on?
a timer or something.
Maybe he was still alive? But then no, he would have nothing in his head, right?
I'm gonna guess it would have to be a timing situation.
He's got a timer. Yeah, right.
He has no understanding of how Data's brain works, and somehow he manages to do that. I know he's smart and all, but fuck,
Yeah.
that would take weeks, surely, to figure
It
out.
took 5 minutes. I guess he was the father of Sun's work. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And then Data walks out and
You know the moment he walks out.
I mean, as soon as he says the off switch, I'll cut in the clip here.
Just where would Sung position such a device? Don't tell me. Let me guess.
But like the music,
And you see his face change.
yeah. So this is so obvious, and it does play it for a bit. Like, ooh, is it Data or is it Old Man? We all know it's Old Man.
But I guess a while they figured out, okay, they're not stupid. They know it's him.
Yeah, he whistles If I Only Had a Heart, the Tin Man scene from The Wizard of Oz, which is obviously a nice motif to match Data. And then Data later on whistles it, and they kind of do another sting like dan dan dan. I'll cut that in here. And it's kind of like, we already know. This isn't a reveal. So as always, Brent Spiner is great at playing Dr. Ira Graves, playing Data.
The acting is amazing.
It's amazing how this crappy, corny, boring 30-year-old sci-fi show with like a $10 budget has these like great Shakespearean level actors.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, Spiner and fucking Stewart in particular. Are you right, man?
Oh, I think I must have had chili or something on my fingers because when I rub my eye just there, it's just like...
Do you want to go rub milk in your eyes?
No, it's all good. Go on.
Brent Spiner's amazing. And then, yeah, I kind of had a note where I was like, there needs to be more going on here. Like, Ira Graves needs to, like, want to carry out some sinister plan or want to do something. Because he's kind of just chilling. But then when I reread my notes, I'm kind of like, no, it's fine, it works.
I don't think it needed it. I think that there was enough there with, like, them not knowing and he's him, and even though he's so obviously acting differently.
Yeah.
I guess that being said, you wouldn't, the first thought would have been, oh, he must have transferred his consciousness to you. Because they don't know that is possible.
Yeah, no, that's fair. They have a funeral for him and he does a great speech, which isn't completely out of character for Data.
The way he did it, though, was so out of character.
Yeah, I mean, Data does rattle on with weird poems about cats and shit, but he was like, this guy was the best.
And then Wesley's like, oh, it's so great, and he's basically like, fuck you, Wesley.
Yeah.
Those who knew him loved him, while those who did not know him loved him from afar.
Data.
I am almost finished, sir.
You are finished, Data.
It just keeps on, like, yeah, it becomes more and more egregious. And I guess the logic is that, like, he had a neural degenerative disease and his brain was, like, breaking apart, and then he transferred the consciousness into Data, so that's why he's so obvious. Like, he doesn't play it cool and pretend to be Data, he's just, like, looking at chicks' asses and calling Wesley dumb cunt. And
blatantly calling Picard.
Yeah, and then on the bridge, the young girl who Dr. Ira Graves had a relationship with, Picard brings her on, and that was actually a great scene with, like...
He wasn't trying to get in her pants either.
No.
He was legitimately just like, oh, you're showing interest in science. I love science as well. Come and check out science. And he's like, God!
Yeah, thinks he's trying to fuck her.
Yeah, legit. Picard's just completely caught off guard. He's like, what?
And then, I just love like the way he handles it too. He's like, see me in my office, and just all those little like disciplinary. Yes, moments. Just with like Picard just being good at his job.
Makes you respect him even more. Like, I'm not gonna lose my shit here. Let's go and talk in my office.
Yeah. And at that point, it's kind of like, all right, something's going on. The whole episode for ages is like everyone's like, what? The Data's like, ugh. And then finally, like, all right, what's going on?
She does not care for older men, or men of limited intellect.
Mr. Data, you will come with me right now. Do you understand me?
Troy has a function here. She uses some computer scanner thing, realizes there's two consciousnesses in Data.
Could have easily been Geordi who did that, eh?
Could have been Johnny, but it wasn't.
They wanted to give Troy something to do.
Yeah, she's not really a tech person, but I guess she's a feelings.
She's a psychologist though, isn't she? Or psychiatrist.
That's right.
So
we don't get those scenes till like seasons later, but she is like the counselor.
Yeah, Counselor Troy. At this point, is she counselor? She is still called Counselor Troy, isn't she?
I believe so, but yeah, we don't get counselor scenes in season 2. I don't think. Maybe season 3. And then in typical TNG fashion, rather than like a laser battle, Picard's like, "Let me handle this," and he goes up and uses his wit and his intelligence, and he makes him sympathetic to Data. He's like, "You're a good guy. Why are you doing this?
Yeah,
you've hurt Geordi."
And it basically shows how the guy thought of Data as a machine and nothing else. And it showed how much Picard actually appreciates Data and what he is as a being. Yeah,
and this guy, theoretically, because of the neural disease, he's fallen to pieces. He breaks the wrist of
what's happening.
Brianna, and he whacks Geordi around and
whacks Picard.
Yeah, I did think that. I think it might be because there's no sound effect in there, but that scene did give me a little chuckle. It was a little bit silly. It was really dramatic.
And his fall.
Yeah. Like Spiner and Stewart, I'm like, oh, this is great acting, them going back and forth. I'm like, this is brilliant. And then, yeah, he slaps him and Stewart does like a, ooh, old man
You
spell.
could be a brilliant dialogue actor.
Yeah.
And then have to do a fall after getting hit and you do a shocking
Yeah,
job.
he's not a stunt actor. He's a Shakespearean actor. I don't know how much rolling around and jumping you do in Hamlet.
The only fall you get is when you get poisoned, basically, out of it.
Yeah, and just lay down on a bed.
Yeah.
Read a 5-minute dialogue as you die. So that scene was funny. I've got that in here.
He's a life form, entirely unique.
Data is not human. He is different.
Yes, but that does not make him expendable or any less significant. No being is so important that he can usurp the rights of another. Now set him free.
No!
Brilliant, then funny.
Yeah, brilliant. Then immediately
And you can
funny.
see him realizing, what the fuck is happening to me? Sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
how many more accidents? It's like Picard got to him.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah, he didn't resort to lasers or arresting him or guards. He was just like...
And he decided himself to put his brain into the computer.
Yeah, put his brain into the computer, which never pays off into anything. It'd be cool.
I don't think he planned that. I think he just was like, okay, well, this is all I'm going to do. My knowledge...
Yeah.
Computer, which has way more knowledge than I do.
Yeah. Let's delete him immediately. Now we need the space.
He's there! Picard's like,
he's gone.
Control, delete.
He's in there. Ira put himself in the computer.
So yeah, in conclusion, I really like the Ira Graves character. It really fleshed out. The actor did a great job while he was there. Spiner did a great job pretending to be him.
Yeah, he is seriously probably the best actor in the show.
Yeah, definitely. He can do everything.
Yeah, he does.
It's great that they give him other stuff to do, because Data is so like...
They probably didn't have plans for it.
Yeah.
And then they're slowly seeing, okay, wow, this guy can fucking act.
Yeah, then it gets to the point of a fistful of Datas where he's just playing all these people in the West.
I'm looking forward to reviewing that episode.
It's only like season 6.
Oh,
Give
okay,
us
cool.
15 years. Yeah, the character was great. The escalation was great. The TNG non-violent conclusion was great. It was a bit heavy-handed in treated the audience a bit silly. But overall, for like season 1 or 2, like this is an A+.
This was
episode.
the best episode we've watched so far.
And yeah, it's Data.
It's one of the best, in my opinion, actually, even though I had no recollection of this episode whatsoever, it's probably one of my favourite episodes.
Yeah.
Of the whole series.
Wow.
Like, not more like, I mean, it's in the top 10.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good episodes.
Yeah.
But this one, I was shocked. I was genuinely like, wow.
Yeah. And Brent Spiner.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart. Shitty plywood sets. What else can you ask for? Thank you for watching!